Ludicrous Feed is proudly sponsored by My Car, Tyre and Auto, Carloop, data to empower Australia's EV revolution, and Hankook, driving emotion. Hey everyone, I'm Tom, this is Joy.
Hello.
And this is our review of the VW Volkswagen ID.4. Let's go take a look. Alright, so in front of us here we've got the VW ID.4 Pro variant. This is starting at $59,990 here in Australia. There is a GTX variant as well for $69,990, both before on-road costs. Driveway in New South Wales for the Pro variant is about $65,000. The Pro variant is rear-wheel drive, whereas GTX is all-wheel drive, and the output is 210 kilowatts and 545 Newton meters for the Pro. 0 to 106.7 seconds for this car, 5.4 seconds for GTX. Both have a 77 kilowatt hour usable NMC battery here in Australia for both variants. WLTP is anywhere from 511 to 544 kilometers between the two variants. Efficiency for this car is 16.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. 11 kilowatt AC charging, 175 kilowatt DC charging, and a length of 4.585 millimeters, and has a weight of 2.17 tons. All right, so the VW ID.4 is finally here in Australia, thankfully. There's been a few delays, but it is in our country, and it does come just in the one battery size for now, 77 kilowatt hour. Let's take a walk around the front. Very much quintessential VW. The big VW badge, of course. It's got a front camera here I can see. This is interesting down here. This is for the air intake, but this kind of reminds me of an ICE vehicle, right? This grille.
Yeah. I don't know whether they're on a slope. For some reason, the vision is sloping.
It is on a slight angle, a slight camber.
All right,
yes.
all right. So I do, but it just looks way worse on the footage, but yep.
Yeah.
Apologies.
It's the gimbal. It's trying to flatten things out.
Yep.
But look, honestly, I don't mind the design of this car. Like, I don't mind VW cars in general, but I think they look pretty good.
It looks like a puffed up Golf, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the smaller Golf.
Yeah, same styling, I agree.
And then if you sort of stuck some air into it and blew it up a little bit, then you end up with this.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind the light signature here, sort of wraps around there. That's pretty cool. Bit of detail here inside the bulb. See on the screen here, no head-up display. Got a couple of cameras there and radar, I think, as well. And the ID.4, as we come around this way, clearly is an SUV. Like I said, a smaller SUV than the Geely EX5 in terms of length. Definitely smaller than Tesla Model Y.
It doesn't look it though. For some reason, it looks kind of big.
Yeah, it's got a good shape to it.
Yeah.
It's not quite fast back. It's got extra sort of bit of a lip here, but not too square either. So it's a good compromise. Like
a stretched out Golf.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, plastic around the wheel arches and the bottom here for all the high contact areas. Look at this shape of the charge port. Very slopey. Gives that sort of sporty appearance to it, doesn't it?
And there you go, only the flap on the DC component.
Yeah, good call, VW.
You like to see?
I like it. We've got 19-inch Hankooks, EVO tyres, so EV specific tyres, which is great. Good thought there from VW. Putting those on for the press car. Hopefully they come with the car standard as well. Let's walk around the back here. Yay for rear wipers. I'm seeing a lot of the Chinese cars tucking their wipers under here now. ID.4, it's finally here. I can't believe I'm seeing this in Australia, having seen these overseas so often. It's good. Let's have a look at the boot. Auto liftgate, yay. Very European, ski tunnel. Even though it's 60/40. And lots of hooks too, so versatile. Mesh down here, as you can see there, it's for trapping things and making sure it doesn't roll around. This is our big Bertha, 1.2 meters, so easily fits this way. There's a tiny bit of a recess there. I think you can lower this down as well if you want, so a deeper floor. And look, this press car comes with a Type 2 cable as well as the 10 amp charger, so that's handy. Because I always forget my own Type 2 cable for these press cars. That's great. There's actually another little subfloor here. Look at that. Extra bit of storage. Interesting. It's well lit as well, and there's also a 12 volt little plug there. Or socket, I should say. Sturdy parcel shelf.
Yep. Is it powered?
Is there a lift gate?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so. Look.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think overall I'm pretty happy with the design. You know, it's nothing sort of like too crazy or drastic. I would say you wouldn't even think this was an EV, honestly, looking at it on the road.
Especially with the air intake grille at the front.
Which is, some people don't mind that because they don't
Yeah.
want anything too different. And VW have told me they've actually designed this car for VW customers, right? So it's not too awkward if you're transitioning from ICE to this. So
Excellent.
I can see their strategy.
Yeah.
So there it is, guys, the VW ID.4 in all its glory. Nice. Let's see if there's a bonnet there. Let's have a look. Double pull that. I think it's an old school little latch there. There we go. Yeah, it looks just nuts and bolts, literally.
Yep.
No storage. Now, it's a European make, so we have to see if it's got a European sounding door where it's shut. So these door latches, right, or these door handles, I think they're electronic because
Yeah.
you sort of pull this bit behind it and it just opens up very lightly.
It's like machine assisted.
Yeah, powered maybe.
Yep.
So it doesn't have a European sounding door
Okay,
thud.
okay.
Let's have a
Here we
listen.
go.
Of course it does. Of course it does. It's very European.
solid, isn't it? Very
Very
solid.
European.
Yep.
Let's have another listen. Yeah, let's have a look at the back as well. Let's have a listen. As you'd expect, right? European quality. It's good.
So where is this made?
It's a German car, so
Actually made in
yeah,
Germany.
I believe so.
Okay.
And privacy glass on the back.
Yes, look, I forgot to say my usual rear-tinted windows, isn't it? Thank you.
Yes, the back is quite cozy because of that too.
I'm just going to stand here because I like this shape. See?
Yeah. No, it's very well designed, I must say.
Yeah.
It's a very smart looking vehicle. All right, I think we should head into the second row and have a look at that first. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff in here. Let me just clear all that. Okay, so in the second row, you can just see here, glass roof with a sunshade, so that's good for our conditions. Nice seats. Little pocket here. How cute is that?
It's like a phone pocket.
Phone pocket, yeah.
It's a phone pocket.
But also a little map pocket here as well. So best of both worlds. And flattish floor, flat enough. This actually, when the car is powered, I don't know why it turned off. This is actually aircon. So I might go and, once I sit in the seat here, you'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, you see that?
Let me just get in so that maybe
Yeah.
the lighting.
So temperature control. Oh, that door's open.
Yep.
Yep. Manual vents. Okay, and then down here, USB-C ports ×2. Yep, and you've got cup holders there, and then you've got,
Apologies for all our jackets, it's very cold here.
and then you can see the ski tunnel access to the back there. Very European.
Do I pull that?
I think, yeah, keep going.
Oh,
You should
okay,
just
okay.
see through the back all our bags there. Yeah, that's good. Very sensible. Good styling.
Yep. And the seats are really nice. Let me just move on.
Yeah, Alcantara, I think. Very soft, very velvety.
But the detail and this sort of like leatherette.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's not real leather, but this sort of leatherette and then this plusher material in the middle is nice.
Yeah. Let me just see. VW ID.4 is made in Germany. Yes, it is. It's confirmed made in Germany, thanks to Google AI.
As much as we can trust Google AI.
Yes.
And there is my coat hook.
Yes.
I'm a happy camper.
Nice. Well, let's pop into the passenger side first. Oh, have a look at the door when you open it.
Yeah, it's like a,
See that? It's very
it's,
not mechanical, right?
that's why I said it's like machine assisted. I can't describe it. It's just like
Yeah.
machine assisted is how I would describe it.
Yeah. Okay, let's check the passenger side. Easy entry. You can see the seat sliding back. And look, massage seats for both passenger and driver side. Powered seat controls. ID sort of badging there on the seat. I must say there's a lot of piano black throughout, especially in the high contact areas, so it's always concerning.
Not sure how well they're going to hold up over time.
Yeah, we'll see. They tend
But
to
the
get
seat is
scratched.
good.
The seat is good.
The seat
They're
is
comfy,
really nice,
I must
yeah.
say. Is this calf support? I feel like they should. Oh yeah, it pops out a bit.
A
little
but
bit.
not
Longer legs.
not Geely standard.
It's something.
And
yes.
now how does? Oh, okay. There.
Push it back in.
Yeah. I guess for people with longer legs, that's actually very useful,
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
Yeah.
Nice bit of chrome there to break it up. I don't mind this colour too. This rusty kind of colour.
Yeah, it's not that plastic that
Yeah.
gets you so upset.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's nice and soft. Let's look at the glove box.
This is the plastic that gets you so upset.
Yeah, that's a bit not so nice there, but yeah. Glove box is, oh, it's only one compartment. So
No,
I'm not sure
well,
that-
there's like two
What?
zones.
Yeah,
You can put stuff there,
true. Might
I
fall out
think.
the side though.
like something thin.
Yeah, true. All right, let's pop in my side. So just confirming, I also have massage seats and powered seat controls. Unfortunately, the windows control are a bit different, so you need to press this rear button to activate the rear and then unpress it to activate the front side. So I don't know, some manufacturers do that for some
Yeah,
reason.
it's just a bit more fiddly, isn't it? I guess they're assuming that you don't normally use the rear ones.
Yeah, that's true.
So rather than having 4 buttons, they just have less.
Got different buttons here for light controls and fog lights and demister. At least that's button based rather than screen based. Interesting pedals there.
They are adorable. I was going to point them out if you weren't going to.
Play
And
pause.
pause.
That's it's quite cute actually. And then before we go for a drive, show you guys real quick the inside here. So we'll talk about the instrument cluster screen during the drive, and then the volume controls here, which I'll turn down. Yep. Cruise control on this side. Then they're kind of like, I don't know, they're not buttons. They're sort of touchpad kind of things. Steering wheel heater, voice control, and then you can change the view of the instrument cluster screen as well as you're driving. Massive chunky gear stalk. That's DMB, meaning light regen and stronger regen. No one pedal. And then auto rain sensing wipers, indicators on the left as well. It's weird, like when the car is not, here we go. Okay, now you can hear it. So that's what it sounds like. And then usual sort of visors and things. It's lit, auto lit. Light controls there, that's pretty standard. Yeah, cool. And then that's the slidey for the sunshade too. Well, that's pretty much a walkthrough of the interior. I mean, what do you think of the styling overall in the front?
I am impressed because when you say European, I normally think, okay, it's going to be overpriced for what it's asking and really budget on the inside. But this is not the case. Like I'm genuinely surprised, like in a good way.
I wouldn't say it's overpriced, right? It's not too bad.
No,
Yeah.
but as in normally, like
Yeah.
some of the other European cars that we have reviewed on the channel, it's like for the price that they're asking, the build quality and the interior is like really quite budget.
Yeah.
But I would not say that for this at all. Like, I know it's like 58, but considering that you're paying for like VW and a German car, I think that's actually very reasonable, and you are getting your value's worth for that money.
I think so. We'll talk about that a bit later on in the summary, but I agree. It's more expensive than the Chinese offerings, but
Of course,
I think there's a reason for that
Yes.
premium, which we'll discuss.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's when you actually sit in this car, you can actually see where that has gone,
Yeah.
as opposed to going, well, they're just upping the price for the sake of it.
Check out this tub here. Remove that for a bit more storage. Getting colder. And then there's one wireless charging port there, 2 USB-C, more storage down here.
Which has a privacy screen you can close off.
Yep. These armrests are cool too. So see that? There's a little button that you push underneath to lower it.
It's like you're on a plane.
Yeah. You can lift it without the latch, but you must push that thing
To bring it down.
to bring it down. Yep.
Oh,
So in
and you
case
can
got
put it at different.
heights.
Yes.
Yeah. In case you got a bad
Interesting.
shoulder, you can have it lower, right? It's quite
Interesting.
clever.
Yep.
Okay, well that's pretty much it for the inside. I think it's time to go for a test drive. Now, I actually went for a drive here. I was the one driving, so I've got my drive impressions coming up, so check this out. This is what happened earlier today. Hey everyone, so yeah, we're doing a bit of a day trip to the Southern Highlands from Sydney, so it's about a 100-kilometre one-way drive and then 100 kilometres back, so it's a bit of a mini range test today in the VW ID.4. So starting off, 74% state of charge here in the instrument cluster screen. You can see hopefully there. Yep, that's good. We're going to do the drive with me down there, and then Joy will drive back. And just to give you my urban driving impression, look, I think it's reasonably okay. The suspension's been actually quite good. I think VW have tuned this car pretty well. It's definitely not a firm ride by any means. A little bit of like sway, but tiny bit. Like, I'm just being picky. But overall, I think pretty supple, gentle ride in the city. We've got a lot of potholes in town, but I think overall pretty good. It's not floaty by any stretch of the imagination, so yeah, I think it's pretty balanced. If anything, a little bit gentler than firm, but otherwise I think it's quite good. It's a rear-wheel drive vehicle, so steering-wise, pretty good around corners. We'll see if we can do some more driving when we get closer to our destination today in the Southern Highlands. It doesn't have one-pedal driving. It's got 2 levels of regen, so you can see there on the screen once again, D and B. It's sort of very typical of VW cars. Like Cooper has got this as well, and even some of the other European brands too, like Stellantis, Fiat I think has got that as well. And to switch between D and B means like higher regen, and D is just like light regen. Let me just merge in there. So to switch between D and B, it's just this stalk here, and that's also the gear stalk. You switch between D and B like that. You can probably see it on the screen there. I don't know, I find that I'm not particularly happy with the regen levels. I find D way too light, and then B actually is a bit too heavy, believe it or not, even though it's no one pedal. But B, it's a bit too grippy at low speed. I guess that's where the issue is with low speed driving in this car. The acceleration is really twitchy as well. So if you want instant acceleration, so if I just push down like that, it'll just go straight away, right?
Right, you could have given me a warning about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. That's different from like the Chinese brands where there's a bit of a lag. So
I'm impressed I didn't swear.
Yeah, sorry, I should have said something. But so that's fine if you like a really twitchy, responsive acceleration. But at low speed in city traffic, you need to actually have quite good foot muscle control. Because if you're not used to it, it'll sort of jerk forward too much.
I was going to say, before you suddenly lurched forward and giving me the shock of my life,
sorry.
I was actually going to say the way you're describing the car is getting me really excited about wanting to drive it, because I really love a twitchy car and I really love very hard braking. So it'll be interesting to see whether it is too much even for me, because I really like that sort of style. But the way that just suddenly lurched forward is, that's actually a bit much for me. But I guess it's because came completely unexpectedly as well.
So it's much like the Tesla, where it's instantaneous, unlike the Chinese brands where there's a bit of a lag.
Honestly, it sounds like I would love it, but I guess we will find out.
We'll see on the return leg. But yeah, look, that's fine if you actually want to pump it and send it. But like in slow traffic, it's almost too much. So there's too much acceleration initially, so sometimes you just want to gently feather the acceleration.
Well, I was going to say, I think that's just an issue with foot control, isn't it? So
it is.
It is an issue if you don't have that sort of foot control, which is fair. Not everyone does.
Yeah.
So
look, after 24 hours, I can get used to it, but I can see the issue there if you don't have that kind of control.
Yeah.
And then so have it on D, it's fine, but if you have it on B in slow traffic, then the regen pulls in too hard, so it's like you're sort of jerking a little bit in slow traffic. I mean, it's hard to sort of describe it.
Yeah, honestly,
on camera.
it sounds like I would love it, but it could actually be too much even for me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, see what you think when you drive it anyway. All right, so that's sort of my urban impression. But like I said, rear-wheel drive around corners is pretty good. No torque steering. And a little bit of slide yesterday in the rain, but that's sort of can be to be expected for any car really. There's a bit of slippage. All right, so we'll head on the expressways, and then we'll touch base once we get onto some open air and highway driving, and hopefully 100 or 110, and we'll give you our thoughts then. Nothing beats the Sydney Harbour Bridge on a nice clear blue sky. Amazing. And Apple CarPlay up here as well, because as you can see, and all the HVAC controls are still here, which is good, and all the shortcuts up there as well. So good integration there. It's supposed to be wireless Apple CarPlay, but I think other viewers have told me from the live stream last night that there's an issue with wireless, so it's wired at the moment.
It's also facing you. I'm not sure whether this comes out clearly in the video, but it's not in the middle, and it's not sort of facing directly at 90 degrees. It's angled towards the driver.
Yes, that's a good point. Like ever so slightly.
Which is good. I honestly think that's probably better
Yeah.
for the driver, because you're the one that needs the screen the most.
See, these are not buttons, right? These are sort of
Sliding,
haptic,
yeah.
I think. So you can slide the volume like that, and then same with the
It's
the
surprisingly. I mean, I guess we'll go through this later in the walkthrough, but it's surprisingly minimalist for a European car.
yeah, the HVAC is climate control there. I think it's haptic. I don't know. It's a slide anyway. And same with your side, slidey.
I'll just say they're touch controls.
Touch controls. That's a good way to put it. Okay, so we are on a highway. Well, this is the M5. Bit of rough road here. You can see some concrete there. Some of the sound is coming through, understandably, but still a very gentle, supple ride overall, I think. We're about to switch over to some nicer road in a second, so this is a good transition. But I've got it currently on cruise control, which is all here, by the way. Very simple to use and understand. So set, reset, resume rather, and then up and down by 10 or 1. We've got some nice road now, so there we go. Much more gentle. I'm just back on this, so yeah, you can tap it up by 1. It's like that. You can see on the screen, it goes up by 1. And if you want to go down or up by 10, just slide your finger or thumb like that, right? So it's pretty easy actually. And then you can adjust how close you're following the car ahead. So it's quite intuitive. I think the pictures do tell a good story there. I must say, I've just experienced this today on probably the last 20 minutes on open road like this. Has been pretty good. The lane centering function, I think it's up there with the best. You know, it's keeping in the middle. It's not too much ping pong side to side. It's not jerky, not like the BYD, which is pretty bad from that point of view. But I think VW have done a good job here. I'm pretty confident in it so far.
And it also doesn't do that weird thing where going around a corner it'll suddenly slow 10 kilometers an hour slower.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Which was that?
The Geely did that for a while. Yeah, if there wasn't a car ahead.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, that's right.
The heated steering wheel here too, which is good. I'm feeling nice and toasty. And both seats have got massage function as well. So I'm going to
Why
push
am I only
button
just hearing
here.
about this now?
Oh yeah, that's nice. Now this is road tripping.
I got it working.
This is road tripping. Massage seats on.
I don't know why we've driven so far and you only just told me about this.
Because I wanted you to experience it without and now with. Compare the two.
Okay. And are there different settings? Because this rolling one's making me a little nauseated.
No, I don't think so. Not that I've seen anyway.
Is it? Oh, well, that's the thing. Geely has 5 or 6 different options, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Next level.
There you go. This is what I call serpentine. I think there was like a serpentine one on the Geely. So this is like that sort of...
Yeah. Rolling?
Yeah, like a sine wave or a cos wave.
Like it's rubbing my thoracic spine and also my lumbar, so it's going up and down between them. It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice, but again, it would be nice if you could choose the different settings. I'm just being very extra fussy.
So just a quick commentary on the instrument cluster screen. It's small. It's got a big speedo, which is good. It's also got some trip stats as well. So I've driven the last 96 Ks. 16 kilowatt hour per 100 Ks is not bad for mixed use for the size of this car. Look, the graphics are a bit basic, I must say. It's probably, a generation behind some of the Chinese offerings, and especially Tesla. It's a bit behind, but it's got the information that you need. Probably a bit of wasted space, we don't need. Like all the stuff here, that's probably too much. It could be smaller, so that probably could be improved, I think.
I have heard you in other cars go, I can't see what gear I'm in though. So.
True. You pointed that out before, yes. But look, the important information is here. Speedometer, state of charge, range remaining, and yes, the gear. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Could be refined a bit more, I think.
Yeah. It looks a bit basic, doesn't it?
Yeah. So check this out. The blind spot monitor is actually on the inside. You probably just saw that of the mirror. So other people may not see that, which is good. So it's just confined to the driver and people inside the cabin. I think that's quite a nice design there from VW.
I don't know, because I kind of like it when I appear in someone's blind spot, because then I can see that I'm in their blind spot and that they have, you know what I mean? Like I can see that their warning is active as well.
Yeah, I don't mind either way, but I like the fact that it's more inside there. The efficiency has climbed a bit, 18.4, but we are going to the Southern Highlands, so fair enough, we are climbing uphill. And we're going at 110, what we were before, so it's understandable. And also, I should talk about the sound system real quick. So I've got a playlist that I normally use to just test the different sound systems in the cars. I'll just show you this on the screen here. So if I go to, where is it? Had it before, here we go. I'll talk about the intuitiveness of the settings later on, but yeah, let me find this. I'll find it eventually. But here we go. So if I use that, gosh.
Was it the equalizer?
Yeah. Sorry. See, I just feel like the UX is probably a little bit behind. I know I can just press that. Nope.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay. So there we go. There. So I like to have it flat on 0 for all the cars I test. That's how I judge between them all. Yeah, sure, I can play with the equalizer and all that, but then you're kind of affecting the original sound of the music, what the artist intended. So I like to have it flat, just to as a baseline between them all. And this car's actually pretty good, I think, even on the open road. You still hear it pretty well. All the different tones of the voices and the instruments, and the bass is quite good as well.
I won't comment because I've been busy working on my computer, so I haven't been listening.
Yeah.
So I won't comment yet.
We'll get your thoughts later on,
Yeah.
but I think it's quite good, just from what I've seen or what I've heard so far. Yeah, so I think just back on the UX, I think honestly, again, I keep going back to the Chinese cars, but they do it, a lot of the brands do it pretty well. Even BYD have improved their UX recently, so I think the saving grace is that it's got Apple CarPlay, so that's one good thing. But I think VW in general, just probably a generation behind. Like, this is a little bit confusing. Like, I suppose if you get used to it, it's probably okay, but I think the settings could be all done a bit better in the one screen rather than sort of dividing it up like that.
It's honestly just a bit ugly as well.
Yeah, it's not pretty. It's better than what it was. Like the previous generation, like we've tested the Cupra and the Audis, they're not great, but this is better, but not as good as some of the Chinese brands. Like Xpeng do it pretty well. BYD's better now. Zeekr do it pretty well. So that's, I guess, what you're compromising with the software here. And unfortunately, there's got no connectivity yet in Australia, so there's no scope for over-the-air updates, no navigation as well.
Oh, so this is it? No over-the-air updates, yeah.
I suppose you could conceivably go to a dealer to get it done or a service, but nothing over the air, unfortunately. That's a big drawback for some people.
It's just a bit behind, isn't it? That's
Yep. I'll just show you real quick something too. Sunroof. So sunroof, or moonroof, I should say. I think it's called moonroof if you can't open it.
It's huge. I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out.
Yeah.
I've been stuck in my own world trying to catch up on work.
Yeah, panoramic, it's great. And you can shut it too, which is good, so even better. So that's one thing at least. I think, honestly, all...
Oh, here it comes. There we go.
Sunroofs should be... all glass roofs should have a powered sunshade for Australia. Because it's just so hot, our sun in summer. I mean, it's nice in winter to have vitamin D, but in summer I'd want to have this shut. Alright, we're about to exit the freeway, the Hume Highway I should say. And then hopefully there's a few curvy, twisty roads we can maybe do some testing on. Okay, so that was my drive impression. Now it's time for Joy to go for a drive. Let's do this. Now, this car doesn't have connectivity, right? So we've discussed that already. And this is what happens when there's no connectivity. The car doesn't talk to the cloud. So my Apple CarPlay is showing 1:57 p.m.
Which would be the correct time.
I mean, that's the correct time, correct. And the car is 1:55. There's no way of correlating the two now.
And I wondered whether that means during daylight saving you would have to manually change the time. So tell us if you have the car or if this is the same as other VWs. Do you need to change the time or have all of the daylight saving times been set?
Okay, so Joy is all set up, ready to go, and I might just switch her to drive in sport mode first. Where is it? Vehicle. No. This is where I always go. Where do I find this?
Mode.
Mode, thank you. There we go, sport.
Well, let me have a look. Oh,
Settings?
that's too tricky. I really only want the steering. But okay,
Yeah,
let's see
let's go
what sport mode is that. Sporty driving.
Yeah.
But
Info? That was it.
yeah, look,
It's probably going to be sport, right?
it is true, but it's really only. Oh, okay, yeah. I was going to say it's really only the steering that I'm interested in. But hey, we might as well just.
Let's do it.
Okay, and then indicators on the left.
Yep.
And that, and then do I put it into that battery thing?
Yep, so you're in B now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The like super regen.
Super
right?
regen, yep.
Super regen. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Oh. Okay. Ooh. No. Okay, that seatbelt thing.
Yeah, sucks you in, right? Got me as well.
I know. It's such a European thing, isn't it? I know. Like, and the Mercedes does that as well.
I was gonna say, the Mercs do it too.
We once had that as a hire car a long time ago, and I'm not over it doing that to me every time, like choking me. Okay. I haven't seen this excessive accelerating and braking yet,
I felt it.
but perhaps I'm being too gentle. I know I probably could have gone, but because I don't know the car yet, I don't dare.
That's fair.
Oh.
Construction. What a beautiful part of the world, hey? Southern Highlands? So nice.
Okay, so far I'm really liking how responsive it is.
It's so responsive.
This is how I want a car to
Oh
behave.
man.
Have I found my new favorite car?
It's twitchy, right?
Yes, it's lovely. This is exactly how I want the car to be as nervous as me
Oh man, she's
when I'm
like,
driving.
it's always a closet European. How do you find the steering? I guess it's too early to tell.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Look, if I wibble wobble, the car will wibble wobble, which is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not dreamy?
Yeah, it's not like I need to turn like the wheel an inch before it does anything. Like, yeah, look, tiny microscopic movements of my wheel of my steering wheel are changing the direction of the car. Ah, happy.
It's on
Very happy.
it's on Formula One mode, right? Just twitchy,
Well,
aggressive.
it depends on the driver, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to go on the freeway pretty soon. But you agree the suspension's good, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I haven't really driven it for long enough to tell you, but
Yeah, true.
yeah.
As a
But
passenger,
I feel immediately comfortable driving this car.
yeah.
Like straight away at home.
Yeah,
No
so
dramas.
I'm just as comfortable as a passenger now as I was driving.
Yeah. Like, there are some cars I feel like I have to, like, quote unquote, get used to it. Okay, no one pedal.
Okay.
Like, here, I'm waiting, but I'm going to have to press the brakes on it. So that's one thing. Oh, I like
You
how...
like that? Oh,
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm
feeling
kind
that.
of. No,
Yeah.
I'm doing that on purpose though, because I'm
Okay.
just trying to get the feel of it.
Yep. But see
it
how it
probably
pulls
didn't-
back so readily?
No, it didn't. It probably doesn't come through on camera, but I was
Yeah.
deliberately sort of accelerating and then let it go, accelerating and let it go, because I just wanted to have a feel for, just what the pedaling was like.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um,
It is subjective, I know. Some people like that, some people don't.
I suppose if you were doing this, you know, like if you're like, you know, doing Uber or something and you're on the roads all day and you have to do this for 8 hours, your foot's probably going to hurt at the end of it. So maybe that's when it's probably not a good idea.
But conversely, if you're doing a lot of highway driving, it doesn't matter as much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the fact that there's no one pedal though. It just continues to creep forward.
Yeah. Give it some, just a little bit.
I actually don't know what the speed limit is here though. Is it 60? Is it 70?
It's 80.
Oh.
See that? It's instantaneous, right?
Actually, well, that's the thing. I'm used to having the car give me at least an indicator of whether, like, what the speed limit is, but I can't see that anywhere on my
good
display.
point. Yeah, there's no traffic. What do you
Yeah,
call it?
because normally if I don't know it, I'll quickly have a look at my display to say, okay, well, what does the car think I should be doing? I mean, of course, that's not always correct, but at least if you haven't passed a sign recently, it might give you a better indicator.
Yeah, true.
Now, do they have a lane? What happens here?
Yep, there's a lane for them.
Okay.
Well, I'll get on the highway and then we'll get Joy's thoughts driving at speed. So stay tuned, everyone. Right, so Joy's been driving on the highway for about 20 minutes now. Let's get your thoughts.
Okay, so it's more about just the other kind of driving, but I love it. I really do love it. But the cruise control's awful. Not that it's awful. Once you've set it, it's fine. But to toggle up and down between the speed, like to what speed you want to set it to, it's really finicky. Like if I press it, it'll jump by 10. It's really hard to get it just to only go by 1.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go out of 100, 110, 120, 130. But then when I press it, it's like it's really hard to figure out the toggle to go.
Basically,
like,
you need
let
to
me
aim
see.
for that point to go up and like a tiny fine line.
Like, see, that's just gone down by 100.
Yeah.
And then, like, I just want it to go down by 1, but
It's really discreet.
it's
I agree.
really, really fussy.
Yeah.
To the point when I did manage to find the exact pressure point for 1 by 1, and I was like gently trying to press it, and then I got the ADAS warning of like, watch the road, and I'm like, well, I would watch the road, but I'm having difficulty setting the cruise control. So, but honestly, apart from that, my initial like driving this, just not on the highway, but it was like exactly the kind of super fast acceleration and super fast braking, and yeah, like the steering is just so lovely. Like I turn the wheel and it does something immediately. It's just so lovely. And the cruise control, once you've set it, it's fine. And I had it like overtaking another car, and that was good, because sometimes when it overtakes another car, it tends to pull, like I feel like I'm being pulled towards the other car, but it didn't do that in this car. If anything, it seemed to know to be a little bit more on the right hand side of the lane, which is how I would normally like to overtake a car. I don't know, it seemed to do that automatically. So that was really quite nice.
So can I mansplain that to say that the quality of the cruise control is pretty good, like in terms of driving dynamic, but the actual, like, the setting of the cruise control is quite finicky. It's not very good.
Yep. But once you've got it set, it's fine. Sorry, I'm not good at talking and driving at the same time.
No,
I'm
I get what
mainly
you're saying.
concentrating, obviously, on driving.
Yes.
So if it comes off a bit rambly, it's because I'm focusing on
all
driving.
good. I'm glad you verified what I was saying before, that it's a really good quality drive in terms of the dynamics and the way it handles the road.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't think I think I can safely say I have actually never sat in a car that is actually tuned the way I like to drive it like this. And this is actually the first time I've actually, so maybe I've just never driven a VW before. I don't know whether they're all like this, but it's so twitchy and responsive. I love it. I love it. So please let me know if for anyone out there, if you've driven lots and lots of different cars, please let me know if there's any other brands like that out there that are like this twitchy, because I want to know about them.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a subjective thing, right? Some people like the fact that it's twitchy and responsive. Others just like that sort of softer, mushy, gentler feel. So it's really up to you. But I'm glad there's two of us in the car here to give our thoughts on the different types. But no, I agree. It drives well. Like I said, I don't like the regen twitchy acceleration at slow speeds, but it's fine just generally driving it. That's just me.
I like how hyper reactive it is. It's exactly how I want to drive. Yeah.
Good. That option is there.
It's my personality, so it's nice to have a car that's as like hyper reactive and sensitive as I am when I'm driving.
That's good. I might just quickly run through the infotainment screen as well. Since we're here and Joy's driving, I've got a free hand. So, like I said before, Apple CarPlay is present, and then you've got the shortcut bar, top and bottom. including HVAC. You've got manual touchpad here for the volume and climate control. You can actually pull this down as well. There's a few more shortcuts which you can add and customize. There we are. So customize that to your heart's content. Unfortunately, not wireless phone projection. That's okay. Let's press this big button here. That gives you more information there. You can also press this button here for shortcut kind of settings, and then you've got more settings here. I must say this again, it's just a little bit all over the place in terms of settings and things, but the main settings screen is here. So you can Bluetooth your phones if you want. If you want to go through like Bluetooth for audio and phone, kind of call and things like that instead of Apple CarPlay. There's a configuration wizard you can play with, and then things like screen, time and date, language, all that stuff is here as well. Let's just go back here, and if you want to sort of optimize your charging, you can, which means you can precondition the battery. Say you're coming up to a fast charger, so optimization up to 142 kilowatt is possible, just to warm the battery up on cold days. I think that's a really handy thing to have that preconditioning. And then you can slide your charger. So for an NMC battery like this, charge to 80 or 90% every day instead of 100%. Only use 100% if you are going for a road trip, in my opinion. And then you can do V2L as well, which is good. Yep, and AC charging, you can reduce the current if you like. It doesn't tell you how fast you're going, but you can reduce the current if you like as well. Now, where was the trip efficiency? This is where I need to think about it.
Vehicle?
Vehicle.
I feel like it would be.
Yes, thank you. So under vehicle, you can turn the lights off, interior, exterior. There's a few options there. You can open the boot. I'm not going to do that when we're driving, of course. And then the status of the vehicle, it's all good for service and tires. And then the data, so this is really good. This is what I want to see.
Okay, this might work. It's now 100, so okay, so that's the one and only time that might actually come in handy. Go straight down.
Good. See, when you're regenning, you can see the instantaneous energy use.
And I would go back in the left lane, but that car's neither going quite fast enough or slow enough.
Okay, so back here on the trip stats, you can see since start of this journey, 11.2 kilowatt hour, 100 kilometers on the freeway, which is pretty good actually, highway consumption. Long term, so 700 Ks, more than I've driven in this test. 17 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and mixed use stuff. And since charge, so since I took delivery of this car at 100%, it's done 17 as well. So that's kind of mixed use. A lot of freeway driving today, of course, as you'd expect, it has gone up a little bit. EVs generally tend to be less efficient on the highways. Okay, so I think what we're going to do now is, since we're sort of entering Sydney, is I think the last test, Joy, is to go for a supercharger test. We're going to drive all the way to Chatswood. We're 35%, so I think you can comfortably say you can do a road trip, like a day trip to the Southern Highlands from Sydney, which is about 100 kilometers each way, and you should be just fine in this car. Don't need to charge there at all. Okay, so we are in currently one of Sydney's numerous long tunnels. I think it's the M8 on the way back to town, and check out the interior lighting in the car. Yes,
and I think it's red because I'm in sport mode.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Can you choose the colour, or is it just based on sport drive mode?
Let's just change different modes.
Okay.
Eco. It's a serene blue colour.
Okay. I immediately feel a difference in the steering wheel
There you go.
too.
So it does matter.
Yeah.
Let's get
it's on it must be on comfort steering.
Comfort's is like
I think this
colour.
is still on comfort steering. Look, it's floating around all over the place.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Oh.
Okay, let's get a sport.
There we go. It's like I could feel it tightening under my fingers.
I can't do a blind test on you because you're driving, but it'd be interesting to see. You're going to see it, right?
No, I can tell. Yeah.
You can probably change the colours somewhere. Again, I have to fight the settings. Oh, it's somewhere. Let's see. It's under car.
What did you look up?
Yeah, I want to see the interior lighting. Vehicle, let's see.
No, I don't think it'd be under vehicle.
Don't think so?
Nope. Vehicle is like stuff to do with the actual driving of the car. Okay. I'm wrong.
Wow.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, bright, dark, no. Fastest mode. Oh, dark mode, okay. What do you want, bright or dark?
Well, I would have thought that it should be auto.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, a lot of the other cars do that, and that if we were in a tunnel, it would have actually automatically done that.
There you go. It's
It'll
not.
be interesting to see what happens at night then. If you drive this at night, is it in this mode or is it in, is it on bright mode?
It's pretty psychedelic with the tunnel lights against the interior lighting.
I mean, not for me because I'm concentrating on driving, but I guess if you're sort of looking halfway everywhere, then yeah.
The party car. All right, back to this. Okay, we are back in Sydney, as you can see in front of us. Now, Joy just had to do some navigation by herself. That's right, manual driving in some city traffic. What do you think?
Look, to quote an F1 driver who I think may have actually trademarked this phrase, so I apologise if I'm breaking some rule here, but it is actually simply lovely to drive. It really is.
Simply lovely.
Yes. I have not had this much fun and comfort, just immediately getting to the car and feeling comfortable. I was saying to Thomas, I said the only other time I've felt immediately comfortable and at home in the car was in the X-Pen, and this is number 2. This is as in the number 2 car that I've had that exact same experience of getting behind the wheel and then going, okay, this car is just tuned the way I like to drive. So. And
which brand is a shareholder of X-Pen?
Well, I didn't realise that until you were talking about that and pointing that out on the road. So I didn't realise that they are both connected that way. But there you go. I don't know. There must be something about this particular parent group, I guess.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's right.
Yeah.
Just stay in this lane here.
Okay, left.
Yeah. So yeah, it makes sense. VW obviously has, probably, I don't know if they have loaned some drivability advice to X-Pen. Makes sense.
Whether they've shared some of that tech. Or the way the car is built, put together. Who knows?
Yeah, that's good. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And
very much so.
I've personally never owned a European vehicle, I don't think. No, I'm just thinking of all the cars I've owned. No, either Japanese, Korean.
Yes, same with me. Japanese, Mazda. Yep.
Korean, Hyundai, or American, Tesla, BYD, Chinese. So, no, never owned a European car. There you go.
I mean, we might have driven one on the odd occasion, like I said, if we've rented one, on a holiday.
Yeah. But yeah, never actually owned one, so it's good. Very privileged to be able to drive all these cars. All right, well, let's head over to Chatswood to test the supercharger. Last thing we need to do today. All right, so here we are, everyone. So 25% state of charge here in Chatswood. We did start the day around 75, I think, from memory. So half the battery done for a 200 kilometer round trip. And since charge, so since 100%, it's now 16.5 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers of mixed use, 425 kilometers on the clock. That's pretty good, actually. Not bad. So probably another 100 Ks, I reckon, if we got it right down to 0 potentially. Not bad at all. I think we should probably test the supercharger. Let's do it. Okay, so we're plugged in and the cable is definitely long enough at the V4 charger, despite it being on the right side of the car. That's great. And good news, everyone. It looks like we are in business. Yes, we certainly are. I can see it ramping up there. To get to 80%, 20 minutes remaining. Okay, let's see how high this goes. It's supposed to be 175, I think, from memory it was. You see how the interior light's doing its thing. It's pretty funky. Pretty good, 130. Could go higher here. Looks like that might be it, around 130. Okay, that's not bad. 133. 20 minutes for top up to 80. That's enough to go to the bathroom and stuff, so pretty happy with that. Look, that's not bad. 153 kilowatts, even despite being about 33%, so that's not bad. 157 kilowatts, it's still climbing. Very good. Wow, 160. Still going up a little bit.
Here you go. So I think I've found the deal breaker with this car.
Deal breaker?
Unfortunately, I think so. Because I reverse park a lot. Like, a lot. So this would be a deal breaker for me because I can't really see what's going on with this. And I know, look, for other people, if you understand what is happening with this camera, then it's not going to be an issue for you. But for me, the weird warped vision and the constant beeping noises just freak me out too much. So something to be aware of.
I don't mind the beeping, but the camera and the vision is just not good resolution for a start, and it's warped.
It's warped. It's a warped. And if you show the front camera as well, like you get a sense of the warpiness of it.
You see more, yes, but it's not real. Like it's
yeah, so it makes it really hard for me to like me personally anyway to judge. Like same with this back view. Like there's just something weird about the angles that it means I just can't work out what I'm seeing, and so I would be like, I'm too afraid to park in this spot because I have no idea. Like, look at that. Yeah, like So, I mean, yeah, kudos to you if you can understand that. And I'm sure like other people's brains can like figure out what that is. But I know when I'm parking or parking under pressure, I would look at that and just be like, no, that's too weird. That one's not too bad, but that's not the one that comes up when you're actually trying to park. That's the one that comes up when you're trying to park.
You can swipe that away, I guess.
Yeah, but again, you'd be pressing under pressure.
Yeah.
I don't like doing things under pressure.
The resolution isn't great, unfortunately, as well.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
There it is.
Hey, everyone. So, we are now at the pointy end of the video. We're going to talk about the things that this car does well, and then the things that it doesn't do so well, and obviously a market comparison as well, compared to the other entrants in this segment, a very competitive segment, this mid-size SUV. So, I think what this car does well, it drives really well. As you've seen on our test drive so far on the highway, very smooth, also very efficient vehicle, large enough battery, so pretty good range. It also looks pretty good, as all Volkswagen cars do, look very good. It comes from a Volkswagen parent company, obviously, so been around for a long time, reliability is there, brand recognition, awareness, all that kind of stuff. What it doesn't do so well, personally, I think the infotainment system doesn't look so good. It's a little bit, let's say, last generation. I think it could be refined a bit better in terms of UX and UI. I personally don't like the low-speed driving of this car. As I've said before, it needs quite a lot of control at that low acceleration and also braking. The regen braking comes on at the wrong time, I think, so if they could refine that just a bit more, I'd be happy. And I guess the pricing as well, which we'll touch on very shortly. Joy, do you agree, or do you have other thoughts as well to add?
Yeah, I guess just a little bit different from you in the fact that I really love the way this car drives and handles. It's so super responsive, so sensitive, so twitchy, which suits my kind of personality when I'm driving. So for me, it was pretty much perfect in terms of that. I haven't driven it sort of like in the rain or you know, on like very, very kind of twisty conditions, but I like just the way it handled just even on normal roads. I imagine it would handle that responsibly like on a twisty windy road, so I would think it would do well there. Maybe not so well in the wet, so that's probably the only thing. But for me, it just feels like a really like solid, nice car, and it was just a real pleasure to drive. You could probably see it on my face when I was behind the wheel. Like it was just really, really like fun and good. And it's like, it's one of those cars where I think like when you test drive it and you get in the car, you're like, this is really nice. So whatever that car's tuning might be for you is going to be different. Like obviously, like Tom didn't like it as much, but that's actually really important when you buy a car. Like I think you got to really want to love and look forward to sitting in it and driving every day, as opposed to like driving just kind of like being a chore. Like for this one, this car, it's like driving wouldn't actually be that much of a chore. Like it's like it was actually really quite pleasurable to drive for me. In terms of the negatives, yeah, definitely the tech obviously is not that great. It would really annoy me that the time is not correct. I don't know, you saw earlier in the video, it's like I want the time to be kind of like the standard time that everybody has, and it being available like, you know, over the air updates and all that sort of stuff. So it doesn't have that. The interface would definitely annoy me after a while. I guess you'd get used to it, but you know, like again, it's about liking your everyday drive, isn't it? And so that would be one thing that would annoy me all the time. But for me, the deal breaker in this car is the reversing camera. Like I am not like a super confident parker, so I want to be able to see everything before I back into a parking spot. And because of those weird angles, my brain can't work out what I'm looking at. And I wouldn't want to always have to press the screen to change the camera angle if I'm under pressure and trying to get into a parking spot. So for me, that would be the one thing. It's great car, except for that, and probably I guess the price as well. Because when it's of the ones in this segment, it's the most expensive one, isn't it? It's even more expensive than the Tesla.
Yeah, let's talk about that very shortly, but I agree with your thoughts so far. It's as you can see in the video that's playing right now, it handles pretty well. We did that test this morning. Rear-wheel drive, of course, very stable, very firm, pretty tight around the corners that we traveled on. And yeah, in fact, no torque steering at all because it's rear-wheel drive. In the wet, as I said earlier, it is a little bit slippery, but that's probably just due to the fact that it was quite wet before we did the long drive to the Southern Highlands. But I think otherwise, yeah, pretty good how it handles. And Joy makes a good point. You do get used to it, like the low speed acceleration that I talk about. I get used to it after a couple of days in this car. So.
And I forgot the other thing is no one pedal driving. That's actually, yeah. I don't know whether it's like a deal breaker. Honestly, the camera is more of a deal breaker for me. Like, I would be not that happy that it didn't have one pedal driving, but I don't think it's a deal breaker. Yeah.
I think that's the kind of stuff you can get used to. Like all the press cars I drive, I get used to it after a couple of days. So I don't think it's that much of a big deal. I'm just pointing out to you if that's not your style of driving. So
or if one pedal's very important to you, then yeah.
If you're someone who gets used to it quickly, then I think you'll be fine in this car. So let's talk about the pricing. Actually, we've alluded to that a few times. So we've got the market comparison here in front of us. So yeah, lots in the segment now, as you can see. I mean, what counts as a mid-size SUV, right? For me, it's basically a nice family vehicle, and there are lots to choose from now. Not just from Asia and China, but also from Europe now with VW. We've got the Cooper Tavascan coming up in the channel as well. So lots to choose from. As Joy said, this car is actually the highest priced vehicle in this segment now. It's a bit smaller than the rest, like 4.5, but would you still count this as a family vehicle? I mean, I was just saying this morning, it's a little bit tight in the center console area, but in terms of sitting area, I think it's probably okay as a smaller SUV.
And honestly, like if you don't really want the other brands and you want to go with a tried and true, and this is made in Germany, this is a European car, it does not feel like a waste of money. It actually feels like good value for money, even though it's the most expensive one of the segment. It's not ridiculously overpriced. Yes, it's the most expensive one, but it's not by tens of thousands of dollars more.
Yeah, I was afraid it would be in the 60s, but I think VW have made a great effort to keep it under 60 before on roads.
On roads, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously they know the competition. They can see what's ahead of them. So I think for under 60 grand, if you really want a VW, if you really want a European car, it's actually not bad value from that point of view.
It's actually really good value, I think, considering it's quote unquote, fully European, made in Germany, and it does not feel cheap and cheerful.
No.
At all.
Yeah, if those things are important to you, I think this is not a bad option if you want to drive electric. Charge as well.
But you want a car that's a car. So if you're coming from an ICE car, I think you would be very comfortable in this car because it feels like a car.
Yep. Agreed. It looks like a nice car as well, if that's what you're after.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like, I know some people don't want to drive like an iPad on wheels. This is not an iPad on wheels.
It definitely is not that. Otherwise the specs are really, really solid. Fast AC charging, fast DC charging, as I've demonstrated. Can charge it with a Tesla Supercharger, V2L, rear-wheel drive, high range, very efficient vehicle. So if you can negotiate a price in the low to mid 60s from the dealer, I think you're doing pretty well in this car.
Yeah, honestly, it's really only the tech. That's as in, and not the tech and the build of the car, but as in
software.
The infotainment system.
Which unfortunately is not going to improve because it's no over-the-air update. So if you can live with this, then yeah, by all means, I think it's a good option. Final thoughts?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess this was much better than I expected for a European car at this price, because I thought, okay, European car at this price, they've probably stripped it all the way down to its bare bones, and you're going to get into it and it's going to feel like rubbish, and that has absolutely not been the case at all. So yeah, and it was just so fun to drive.
It's a fun drive, I must say, once you get up to speed, from my point of view.
Well, but for me, it was fun at low speeds. That's
Yeah.
what I liked about it. It just like, yeah, the tiniest press of the accelerator, it would go.
It is twitchy.
The tiniest lift off of the, of the accelerator as well, it would brake.
It's
Turn
responsive.
a little bit to the left, you'd start to turn. Turn a little bit to the right, and start to turn. Hurrah!
So there you go. For those people who said we don't review non-Chinese vehicles, here it is. Here's a European car for you guys. And we've got the Tesla Scan next week as well, also a VW vehicle. So that's it, everyone, from Joy and myself for the VW ID.4. Many thanks again to Volkswagen Group Australia for loaning us this vehicle. I'm looking forward to testing the VW ID.5, which is a different type of vehicle, also from VW, also electric. So stay tuned, we'll try to get that for you. And also the ID Buzz, that might be a fun one, like the electric combi. So stay tuned, everyone.
But it's great to see like the kind of super established brands going that we need to make EVs.
Yep.
So
And reasonable value as well, not just really expensive European cars. Yep. Thanks, everyone. Until the next Ludicrous Feed video, it's happy charging.